It's a warm welcome to Ibrox tonight. It's the CIS Insurance Cup 4th round and Rangers entertain St Johnstone. Rangers, well, they make a couple of changes from the side who went down to Dundee United just on Sunday there. Charlie Adam drops to the bench, as does Dado Perso, and of course there is no Barry Ferguson injury ruling out the skipper tonight. So starting jerseys for Philip Shabo, Chris Boyd and Gavin Ray as the replacements. Rangers line up: Alan McGregor, Thomas Buffel, Sasa Papic, Alan Hutton, Chris Boyd, Stephen Smith, Brahim Hamdani, Jeremy Clement, Philip Shabo, Nacho Novo and Gavin Ray. For St Johnstone, who are flying high at the top of the First Division just now, they also make a couple of changes from the side who saw off Partick Thistle on league duty on Saturday. It's the return for Jason Scotland, the Trinidad and Tobago internationalist, and he's joined in the starting lineup by on loan Celtic youngster Paul Lawson. So St Johnstone goal: Bryn Halliwell, Andy Laurie, Goran Stanic, Simon Mensing, Alan McManus, Stephen Anderson, Paul Lawson, Martin Hardy, Stephen Milne, Jason Scotland and Paul Sheeran. On the bench, Rangers can call upon Stefan Klos. Yes, a return for the German hotstop. He hasn't featured since March. Stefan Klos joined on the bench with Karol Svensson, Lee Martin also coming back from injury, Dado Perso and Charlie Adam. For St Johnstone, former Rangers youngster Peter McDonald is on the bench, and he's joined by Darren Sheridan, Kevin Cuthbert, Andy Jackson and Willie Dyer. Today's referee is Mr Stuart Dougal. Sadly this week Bobby Shearer died, and tonight, ahead of tonight's match of course against St Johnstone, we will recognise the late great Bobby Shearer in the form of a 1 minute's applause. Well, to the sounds of Simply the Best, Rangers take the field tonight, skippered by Gavin Ray. Tonight's match referee Stuart Dougal leads the teams out. Rangers resplendent in traditional kit, blue shirts, white shorts, the red and black stockings. St Johnstone in an all-white chain shirt tonight. And as I said, we will have a 1 minute's applause to commemorate the life of a great Ranger. Bobby Shearer died on Monday. 407 games for Rangers, including a spell of 165 consecutive appearances. He even played in goal one day when Billy Ritchie got injured. After only 10 minutes, took over in goal. Rangers still ran out 3-1 winners over Hearts. So tonight, ahead of the match, we will have a 1 minute's applause to remember Captain Cutlass.
At the request of Bobby Shearer's family, we would ask you now to please sustain a 1 minute's applause in his honour.
An excellent tribute to a great Ranger and an absolute gentleman. Bobby Shearer, 10 years a Ranger, 1955 to 1965, and commemorated in excellent style tonight at Ibrox as Rangers entertain St Johnstone in the CIS Insurance Cup 4th round tie. Rangers have Alan McGregor, in front of him a back four of Alan Hutton, Brahim Hamdani, Sasa Papic and Stevie Smith. The engine room is Jeremy Clement and Gavin Ray. The wide play will be Nacho Novo and Thomas Buffel. Up top, the potential lethal partnership of Chris Boyd and Philip Shabo. For St Johnstone, there's experience throughout the side. Halliwell's in goal, a back four of Laurie, McManus, Anderson and Stanic. Anderson, the only youngster in the back four. The midfield is Mensing, Lawson, Hardy and Sheeran, Milne and Scotland. are the strikers for Owen Coyle's side. On the bench for Rangers tonight, Carl Svensson, Lee Martin, Dado Purcell, Charlie Adam, and a return for Stephen Kloss. St Johnstone, they've got Peter McDonald, Darren Sheridan, Andy Jackson, Willie Dyer and Kevin Cuthbert. We just await on Stuart Dougal, tonight's referee, to get the game underway. He checks just with his assistants there, who tonight are the very able Francis Andrews and Chris Young. Fourth official, John Underhill, and we're underway at Ibrox. It's a huge night for Rangers, and good to see the home support have come out in numbers to get behind the team to try and just see if they can ease themselves into that semi-final spot. Celtic, of course, casualties to Falkirk only 24 hours ago, but a very awkward challenge, and it sees an injury to Sasa Papic so early on. This would indeed be tragic. He certainly looks very distressed down there. He stretched while on the deck as he tried to clear the ball under a bit of pressure from Mensing. It looks as if he's certainly strained the knee. It could be a twist. Philip Shabo comes over to offer a word or two of comfort to the Bosnian centre-back. I was about to say Rangers are trying to find some consistency in selection, particularly in the back four. It's the same back four who played against Dundee United. Alan Hutton, Brahim Hamdani and Stevie Smith, but Sasa Papic at the heart of that defence, signed from Austria Vienna, previously with Cherokee Briege, who played Hearts this season in a Euro Champions League qualifying tie. He certainly looks very, very uncomfortable as he leaves the field of play. They'll just have a double check with the medical staff. 25 seconds on the clock, and Papic looks as if he's taken the knock to the shin area. And as St Johnstone had sportingly put the ball out of play, Alan Hutton just knocks it long into the arms of Bryn Halliwell to get the game back underway. Meanwhile, Papic just gets the shin guards back in place as Clement tries to get Rangers going with a ball that's almost threaded through the eye of the needle. Tries to find Buffel, well defended McManus, although the final ball is that bit long. Indeed, it was Andy Laurie, the former Falkirk fullback, who tried to play it over the top. And the return for Sasa Papic. Good news indeed for Paul Le Guen. Rangers just squeeze the game at the moment. Early test of Papic's recovery. Takes a good touch to Smith. Buffel playing in the wide area, tries to just spin away from Laurie. Ball goes out, quick throw taken by Smith. Buffel was on his bike, he's got it now. Clement's just inside. Rangers short, sharp passing movement. Although you have to give credit to St Johnstone, filtering players behind at every opportunity. The ball cut off Sheeran over the top, looking for movement. Stephen Milne has one to chase as McGregor very casually uses Hamdani as his out ball. A game of keep ball between Hamdani and McGregor as McGregor finally kicks long, looking for Novo, who's yet to get a touch. He's under pressure from Stanic. Support comes from Alan Hutton. Clement the switch of play. Stevie Smith, first touch is good, looks up, thinks about the delivery, it's into the mix. And St Johnstone quite happy to work it clear. Young Stephen Anderson alert to the early ball from Stevie Smith, just sweeps it out of play. Smith assesses his options. Good touch from Buffel, opens up his body, tries to lose the attentions of Mensing. Smith again. Clement supports. Again, St Johnstone very difficult to break down. Papic now finds Hutton. Again, we see the white shirts just get goal side and make it difficult for Rangers to play the telling pass. Buffel comes short, doesn't get a clean strike on it. McManus clears for the visitors. Quickly returned again, chance for Shabo. He might just shoot from here, you know. It's a good effort too. Well, Philip Shabo, it's only his third start of the season, but my goodness, it was a real good effort from the Slovakian. He took a great touch, looked up, the goalkeeper didn't buy it, didn't come off his line, but my goodness, he had everything but the kitchen sink behind that delivery, and it just sailed no more than 8 inches over Bryn Halliwell's crossbar. Good early effort from Shabo, posting intent, and he wants a regular starting jersey. Only 2 goals since signing as, again, Rangers set up base camp inside St Johnstone's half as McManus gets it clear again though. Smith alert to Shabo now, full of confidence. It's caught in possession by Anderson. Clement supports again, such a useful player. Smith very determined. A bit towsy there, Rangers very disappointed that perhaps the Shabo effort didn't count. Cleared again. Papic looks to have run off that early knock, and skipper for the night Gavin Ray just works the ball back to Alan McGregor. Stevie Smith not happy, taking a bit of a knock on the earlier challenge there from Andy Laurie. And as you would expect, Owen Coyle will have St Johnstone well prepared tonight, as that wily old fox of a player that he is. 200 senior goals for Owen Coyle. Just steps out the technical area and has a quick word of organisation, I think is the term, to his back four. Hutton does well. Clement again, he just sees things early, always willing to come and support his teammates. Smith wants someone short. Boyd lets it run. Scooped in the air by Anderson. Cool defending there. Martin Hardy, he's certainly effective inside the penalty box this time. Quite happy with the defending header, just knocking it back to Bryn Halliwell. Papic does well, climbs over Milne, Mensing helps it back on. And Danny, so composed, takes it on the chest and already wanting to play passes that can perhaps get Rangers the opening goal. The opening goal in this tie could indeed be so crucial. And Danny trying to see what's ahead of him. Noble always willing to show for it. First touch is heavy though, does well to work it to Shabo. Inside out to Clement, big switch is on. Buffels comes short, he might think of the shot, doesn't get his body over it at all. But clearly Rangers have come out the traps flying tonight. It's the second effort from distance, the match only 6 minutes old. This time Buffel perhaps a wee bit anxious, desperate to build on last season's successes since he came to the club. He's a natural goal scorer, 24 Belgian caps and 6 goals for his country. You don't play at that level if you're not a quality player. This time his sights slightly out, and from 25 yards the shot is high and over the crossbar of Bryn Halliwell. The referee duel just a wee bit pernickety perhaps there, with the referee calling the shots to the goalkeeper. Wants it spotted perfectly, and the goalkeeper spotted Laurie perfectly, but his header just goes out of play, giving Rangers the throw in. Boyd scoops it in the air, perhaps often criticised for his work rate outside the danger area. Chris Boyd getting a starting jersey tonight. There's just a push there. Hardy on Gavin Ray gives Rangers the free kick, taken quickly. Hutton looks for movement, not an awful lot of options open to him. Decides to go for a bit of a mazy himself. Drops a gear, whips it into the danger area, and just breaks off the defender there. To be fair though, St Johnstone had 4 white shirts inside the penalty box, and Chris Boyd was lurking with intent, but Anderson, the 5'11", former Dundee United youngster, does well to work the ball clear. Shabo again, so strong. First touch is excellent, Velko-esque. Stuck to the boot first time. We want to see more of that, obviously. Smith staying in an advanced position. Gets the pass from Papic. It's a bit wayward with the flick on for Buffel though. Allows Laurie to clear. Not seen much of Jason Scotland so far. And Papic rather gingerly just pinches the ball off the Trinidad and Tobago internationalist. Keeps it simple. Lawson, the on loan Celtic youngster, given the green light by Gordon Strachan to play tonight. Plays the 1-2 with Stanic. Flick on, trying to turn the defender. Milne does well with upper body strength. Again, Lawson shows the support. Rangers showing they're quite capable defensively as well when they've lost possession. Martin Hardy getting close to the action there. Flick on, Sheeran, such a vastly experienced player. Scotland tries to lose him, Danny. Mensing has it all to do, he's forced away from goal. Lawson again, quite an accomplished young player. Stanic comes forward. Scotland movement's good. Tracked by Himdani. Himdani stays goal side. Doesn't dive in. Excellent defending. Excellent defending from the former Marseille skipper Brian Himdani. Stayed tall. Forced the error from Jason Scotland, the former Dundee United man, and it was out for a goal kick. So we played 10 minutes of action at Ibrox. Of course, we had that injury to Sasa Papic in the first minute. And Shabo just terrorises the defenders. Halliwell, the former Clyde and Dunfermline keeper, does well to kick it clear. It's goalless at the moment, but certainly Rangers have had the bulk of possession. Perfect night for football in the south-west of Glasgow. Perhaps a bit chilly. Papic just plays the ball off Milne, giving Rangers the throw-in. Milne doesn't complain. Papic rather tentatively made an appeal to the assistant referee Francis Andrews that it was indeed a Rangers ball, and he was pleased to get the acknowledgement that indeed it was. Good touch from Smith to Buffel. Laurie tracks the movement of the Belgian. Tries to deliver behind Anderson. The big centre-back does well. Lawson intercepted Ray. Boyd just tries to keep the ball going. Excellent challenger from Stanic. Sheeran just gets between two Rangers players. Paul Sheeran, he was signed for Aberdeen by Steve Patterson. Did so well in the lower divisions. SPL didn't quite cut the mustard. But a very capable midfield player just the same. Naturally left-sided. There's a bit of a different dimension on occasion. Anderson whips in the free kick, looking for Mensing. He's quite tall, keeps it going. Milne tries to climb over Papic, but can't get there. And it goes through harmlessly to Alan McGregor, who of course had a loan spell with St Johnstone. Coming out the night sky for Novo, and headed clear by Stanic. We're certainly into winter now though. It's a cold November night. A goal would go a long way to warm up a sizable Rangers support tonight. Perhaps influenced by the fact that Celtic were knocked out of this tournament just 24 hours ago by Falkirk on penalty kicks. So an opportunity for Paul Le Guen to deliver silverware. Shabo goes down in the challenge from McManus. Stuart Dougal, well positioned, calls the free kick correctly. Alan McManus, former Hearts defender, played against Rangers in the Gordon Jury Cup final. I think he's still the only player to score a hat-trick in the Cup final. Gordon Jury, 1996. Good movement from Rangers. Novo's peeled off, whips it to the back post. There's a chance here for Buffo. Just needs to keep a bit of composure, and he loses it at the very crucial moment. He could have squared to Boyd. Shabo was at the back post, and Buffo, perhaps a player whose confidence is slightly short at the moment. 12 minutes on the clock. Should have done better than drill the ball into the side netting as Rangers look for this crucial opening goal. Owen Coyle, the St Johnstone manager, not happy with defending at times, out just as a word with his players. Halliwell loses his footing as he takes the free kick, or the goal kick rather. Rangers fans quite quiet at the moment. Milne goes on a bit of a run, late challenge Papic. Decision goes the way of the visitors. Stuart Dougal has a quick word. How is your Serbo-Croat, Stuart? I think that was pretty universal language. No more. Stuart Dougal's been here only once this season. It was a big night for Rangers. They beat Falkirk 4-0. So, welcome back to Ibrox, Stuart. Sheeran with the free kick, whips it in. Dangerous ball. And again, we see the lack of confidence in this Rangers side. No one takes responsibility for the delivery. Fortunately, no one can get a touch either, and it goes harmlessly behind for a goal kick. The quality of delivery from Sheeran asks questions of Rangers defensively. No one can divert it goalwards. Best chance that St Johnstone have carved out so far. They'll take confidence from that one, but it shows you how fragile Rangers are defensively at the moment. Scotland drives forward, one-on-one with Papic, cuts inside on his left foot. He gets it goalwards. There's a big deflection too, which takes the sting out the effort actually. Well, McGregor could just have thrown his bonnet on that one right enough, but he had to change direction, move his feet very quickly to make the save as Shabo gets between two defenders. He's away from Anderson, knocks it in towards the back post, and cool defending from Andy Laurie. Thomas Buffo was on his shoulder looking for any slip up, but Andy Laurie, 10 years with Falkirk, very happy to concede the corner kick, Rangers' first corner of the evening, as Rangers work the ball very quickly there, as we see, from goalkeeper to attack. Buffo with the in-swinger, knocks it in, the goalkeeper doesn't come, it's in the air, it might fall for Gavin Ray's first touch is good, can't work the opening, Jeremy Clement drills it through traffic, gets a big deflection, and Rangers get their second corner. Small band of travelling fans from Perth giving the treatment to Nacho Novo, obviously going back to his time at Tayside. Knocks it in, Shabo with the flick on, behind again, this time the last touch again off a defender. Stanic not happy with the decision, Shabo won't complain, and Novo gets the second bite of the cherry. So Rangers get their third corner in quick succession. Bit of positioning going on about the penalty spot there. Stuart Dougal decides he has to sort it out. Scotland comes back just to give an extra defender inside their own 18-yard box. Whipped in again near post. Shabo the target. Stanic again, quick to react, kicks it long to clear. Alan Hutton might just try and wind up the long one. Clement always aware of what's going on. His game awareness is excellent, although the decision is to use him Danny rather than Clement. Good touch, Stevie Smith. Away from Mensing, shut down by Lawson. Plays the 1-2 in oval, might just work his way into the box. Shabo's up early, bit of a push through. Stevie Milne back defending on the edge of his own 18-yard box. Shabo's exuberance coming through. It's a slight challenge on the former Dundee and Plymouth Argyle man, enough to just disturb his jump, and it gives St Johnstone the free kick and a bit of respite to the defence. Quickly over the top from Gavin Ray, a player fancied by a number of teams just now, but he certainly wants to continue his career at Rangers. As Novo drops a gear, tries to get away from a couple of markers, just cutely plays the ball off Stanic to keep possession for Rangers. Gordon Stanic there, former Raith Rovers player, a bit like Nacho Novo. Alan Hutton now. Again, Clement offers his services. Shabo does it quickly. Hutton hits reverse, goes for the long one, just drops it in the mix. Shabo's up early, can't get anything on it. Sheeran takes a good touch. Jeremy Clement can't keep it in play though. So Rangers, 24 times they've won this League Cup trophy. The last was back in season 2004-2005. You may remember a very memorable win over Motherwell, 5-1. The score that night. Now Mensing gets support in the flank from Andy Laurie. Lawson drops off. Jeremy Clement again. Low centre of gravity, but very, very determined. You can see why on occasion he's likened to Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Reads the game so well. Always wanting to do it with a bit of tempo. As does Stevie Smith. Again, an inviting ball for Shabo. Wins the free kick. Alan McManus not happy with the decision from Stuart Dougal. He clearly indicates he was leading with the elbow on Shabo, giving Rangers a free kick in a very dangerous area. Thomas Buffel to take. Hutton's gone forward. Not the tallest team at the moment, Rangers. Chris Boyd, surely the target. It's whipped in, it's a dangerous ball. The goalkeeper comes and gets, well, a good clean strike from Buffel. An equally clean catch from Bryn Halliwell. Halliwell's played all 12 First Division matches this season for St Johnstone and only conceded 8 goals. So He certainly has a bit of quality as well, as Scotland tries to evade Smith. Combination of Smith and Clement do well for Rangers. The 1-2 of Clement and Ray, now with Shabo. Buffel. Shabo continues his run. Gets the pass. Looks for the daisy cutter of a delivery. It might just fall here for Gavin Ray, not his favoured right foot. Crowd wanted the shot. Elects to keep possession. Now back with Stevie Smith. Aerial delivery, surely. In it comes, edge of the box, well defended McManus. Rangers winning every second ball at the moment. Smith down the flanks. Peel off from Buffel, good first touch, opens up the chance, whips it in, headed clear again. McManus inside his own 6-yard box. The Rangers certainly camped inside St Johnstone's half at the moment. Gavin Ray takes a good touch and just stands in the ball at the crucial moment. Sheeran can't work the opening as Novo intercepts for Rangers. Shabo again, his movement's been good tonight. Always willing to peel off. Tries to get away from Anderson, has to do it twice. Sliding challenge from Stanic. And the referee makes the decision. His assistant over on that far side, Chris Young, he decided that was a goal kick. Stuart Dougal, from his vantage point from behind, elects to give the decision Rangers' way. So Rangers have their 4th corner. Indeed, it's not a corner, it's a free kick is the decision. Stanic's challenge on Shabo considered to be illegal. The Rangers do need to profit from these set pieces that's been created in and around the danger area. Whipped in near post again, Clement. Burke. Well, when Chris Burke's on the side, you expect a better ball than that, but you know, Clement not the most adept at the set pieces. He just knocks it goalwards. Chris Boyd can't get anything on it, and when you look at the players not available to Paul Le Guen just now, like the quality of Chris Burke, you just know that Rangers have never really got going this season as Novo tries to get going into the path of Shabo, forced away from goal by Anderson. Does well to keep it in play. Support from Chris Boyd, now back with Shabo. Fair play to St Johnstone though, they've defended well at times. Hutton with the delivery. Stanic heads clear, only as far as Shabo again though. Gavin Ray. Patience now required for Rangers though. Fans getting rather restless though, as Novo tries to deliver. He does too though. There's 1v2. Chris Boyd does enough, gets between two defenders. Hardy back there supporting McManus, concedes the corner kick. We're halfway through the first period at Ibrox. CS Cup quarter-final action. Good delivery, fisted clear by Halliwell. Buffel again, does well, gets away from Milne. He's in the danger area, click at his heels, he stays on his feet, needs a cut back, any chance here? Novo can't get it opened up. And Sheeran clears for St Johnstone. Oh, that's a good chance for Rangers again. The close control of Buffel created the chance. Novo just couldn't work it out from under his feet and get a sight of the target. And St Johnstone defending very well indeed. As a unit, collectively supporting the goalkeeper. Ensure that there isn't a save to be made by Halliwell. You just see Milne creeping forward there, working on the shoulder of the last defender. The through ball perhaps a bit heavy. There's a chance again for Novo, needs to be quick, works it open, he has to chase it down. Again does well. McManus, unsure of the position of his goalkeeper, elects to just clear it long. Nacho Novo, desperate to add to his goals for the season. Only one SPL strike for the wee man this year, and 2 absolute crackers in the UEFA Cup from only 5 starts. Papic whips it in. Stanic clears. And Danny wants width. Elects to play it right down the channels. Anderson clears, and Danny has to look lively defending. It's Hardy, very physical, and Gavin Ray there. Martin Hardy, man of many clubs, started at East Stirling, had a spell in the SPL with Kelly, probably his best spell as a midfielder with Partick Thistle. As Boyd plays it to the flank. Here's the delivery back across the face, a goal, and no takers there. Boyd and Nacho Novo combining to carve open St Johnstone's defence. The ball across the danger area, full of pace, fizzed into the 6-yard box. Just needed the merest of touches for Rangers to open the scoring as Clermont again squeezes the game. Takes the pass from Gavin Ray. Now Hamdani comes forward, looks for the angled pass perhaps. Novo drops off. Alan Hutton goes the scenic route, effectively though. Keeps it in play. Buffel does well. We saw him do it so well at the other end of the 18-yard box. Hutton just drops it in the mix again into the danger area as Rangers try to keep the pressure on, and Hardy just scoops it clear for the Saints. Lawson quick to squeeze the game, lifts it off the toe of Clermont. Milne comes forward, it's 2v1, Papic has it all to do. Scotland plays it inside again for Stevie Milne. Wonderful defensive qualities, Stevie Smith. So alert to the danger as Rangers left exposed chasing this opening goal. The pace of Scotland and Milne causing problems for Rangers. Stevie Smith just drops a gear, gets in behind Stanic, or rather Papic, with an excellent challenge. What a wonderful season Stevie Smith's having. He's actually the only SPL ever present at Rangers this season, and if we needed any confirmation why, we've just seen it from the young 21-year-old. Wonderful defending, equally comfortable going forward. What a marvellous season for the former skipper of the Rangers second 11. A true talent from the Murray Park young squad. Homegrown talent, and how would you value him nowadays? On the fringe of the international squad, Bill Silborn, Stevie Smith, making sure that Alan McGregor didn't have to pluck the ball out from behind him, despite all the pressure as we approach the half-hour mark. Rangers have yet to open the scoring. Mensing with a header. Cleared right. Pushing the back on Shabo surely from McManus, but advantage given to Rangers as Buffo comes away, finds Novo. Boyd's in the box. Novo drops a gear, drives at Stanic. He gets across the body of the Macedonian. There's the cutback. Boyd just tries to flick it goalwards, and Anderson, excellent defending inside the 6-yard box yet again. The pace of Novo creates the chance. Boyd just can't flick it goalwards, and Anderson, so protective of his goalkeeper. He's having an outstanding match, the youngster, signed back in 2004 from Dundee United. Equally comfortable as full-back or centre-back tonight. He's certainly excelling for Owen Coyle's side. McManus, the more experienced of that partnership, heads clear. Buffo starting to see a bit more of the ball now. Gavin Ray adjudged to have challenged Hardy illegally. Free kick to Saints. Mensing squeezes it through two defenders for Scotland, and again Stevie Smith alert to the situation. Gets across to cut out the delivery from Jason Scotland at the expense of St Johnstone's first corner kick of the match. Paul Sheeran comes across to take this one. Left-sided from the right, you can anticipate that in-swinger. Whips it into that danger area. Chris Boyd in his own 18-yard box, heads clear only as far as Lawson, and doesn't get a clean strike on it at all. The Aberdonian-born 22-year-old on loan Celtic player, perhaps a bit anxious, pulled the trigger early, and the effort just wide of Alan McGregor's right-hand post. Well, I mentioned Alan McGregor, 24 games he played for St Johnstone in a loan period between August 2004 and May 2005. Perhaps Rangers getting the benefit of that now from the 24-year-old. Mensing, never present this season, signed from Clyde, and his trade at Wimbledon. Not a bad CV. Alan McGregor, resplendent in his red and black Rangers kit tonight. Kicks it long. Flick on from Boyd. Novo might take it early. Elects to take it early. Gets a decent strike on it. Not the best of strikes. He wanted to try and catch the goalkeeper a bit cold. Not in his favoured foot, but he gets enough on it to get it goalwards. But Halliwell well positioned to save. Again, we see St Johnstone happy to sit in and hit on the break. Use the pace of Scotland. Rangers defend well, defend in numbers. Buffel again in space. Hutton was showing real desire and willing to get forward and support. Whips in the delivery. Shabo from a standing start can only hit it in the air, and that won't trouble Halliwell at all. We've played half an hour here at Ibrox. Owen Coyle, that vastly experienced player, still learning the management game, has a quick word with Stephen Milne. Owen Coyle still a registered player at St Johnstone and recently linked with the vacancy at one of his previous clubs. Dunfermline. Doesn't look as if that's going to happen for him now, though. 250 career goals. What a wonderful player. In his day, one cap for the Republic of Ireland against Holland, and now undoubtedly one of Scotland's up-and-coming young managers. So Papic, he certainly has run off that early scare. It was only the first minute he went down with what looked a very, very awkward knock. St Johnstone's confidence growing at the moment, starting to knock it about. Clearly offside though. Scotland and Milne both in behind Hindani and Hutton. It's an easy one for the assistant Francis Andrews to call. Buffo wants Papic at the angle. Gets there eventually. It's a decent ball inside to Shabo. He needed a touch just to get the ball under control. Doesn't happen. Buffo intercepts. Now to Alan Hutton. Shabo again switches play to Novo on the wing. Chris Boyd starts to make his run into the box. Buffel times it well, tries to flicker away from Anderson, and well, very, very composed is Anderson. Can't say the same about his goalkeeper. He managed to shank it out of play. He'd just be happy to have knocked it long. However, it does mean that Rangers keep possession on down in the corner flag area. Hutton with the throw. Boyd can't get none of it. Look, there's 8 white shirts inside that 18-yard box as St Johnstone desperately defend as if their life depended upon it. Again, Owen Coyle comes out and has a word with his players. He's constantly cajoling and fine-tuning and encouraging his squad. He'll just be looking in sections of this match. That's the first 30 minutes gone. He'll now be thinking about 45 minutes and a chance to get into the dressing room and regroup, wanting the scoreline to stay the same. Anderson, who's outstanding at the heart of the defence tonight, gets the better of Chris Boyd. Stanic with a cultured ball over the top. Milne's under pressure from Himdani, but again does well to hold it up. Lawson in support. Mensing 2v1, that's better from Rangers. The anchor men in midfield, Ray and Clement, hold it up. Novo intercepts back to Clement. Novo wants the return. There's a chance he might just keep this one in play. It's got to be quick. He is. Into the feet of Shabo. That's a decent ball though. No real pace on it. Shabo was down, and that was the problem really. There was no pace on the ball at all to give Shabo the shooting chance. Jason Scotland, of course, he featured heavily prior to the World Cup finals in Germany. Didn't play though. Had to settle for 3 occasions on the bench. Flick on from Boyd, tries to find Shabo, and again now Stephen Anderson intercepts. So crucially, excellent sense of timing for the youngster. Oh, there's an error here from Hutton. Jason Scotland though forced that error. A bit of a push in the back of Alan Hutton. Alan Hutton, aged 22 on the 30th of this month. You tend to forget he's still a very young man. And Jason Scotland looking to add to the goals he's already scored this season in this tournament. Novo picks up that second ball again. Good challenge, Stanic. Support from Sheeran. Shabo puts Stanic under pressure. Wins the ball from him. Stays in the box. There's the cut back. There's a chance for Novo. He could have gone down there. Works it back to Clement. Clement back into the feet of Novo. And again, good defending. Hardy over the top, looking for the pace of Scotland. Alan Hutton again. Needs wing mirrors when Jason Scotland's about. And the decision is there was an obstruction from Hutton on Jason Scotland. And his dissent will earn him a word in the ear from referee Dougal. Again, I mentioned pace on the ball. There was no pace on the ball when Novo was trying to work the opening, and not enough pace on the ball as Alan Hutton tried to usher it out for a Rangers throw. And clearly the ball was too far from his body as he avoided Scotland going beyond him. It gives the free kick to St Johnstone. Sheeran whips it in, mensing the target, almost a free header. It falls at the back post for Hardy, knocks it back gowards, and good defending from Rangers, but again we see the fragility to cross balls. Rangers defensively on a knife edge when the ball's knocked in aerial style, and Alan Hutton has to keep a cool head to deliver the ball behind the goal frame, giving St Johnstone the corner kick 10 minutes short of the interval. Delivery's whipped in again, well headed, clear by Gavin Ray. Scotland again's peeled off. Tries to deliver, breaks off him Danny, and St Johnstone again get the corner kick. Clearly it wasn't an intended handball, and Danny suggesting that the ball played to him. The free kick is the award. Referee was well positioned though, won't argue with that one. Again, Rangers just try and get organised. Sheeran's delivery just headed over the bar. Again, you concede free kicks. The last thing Rangers can afford to do is concede free kicks in and around the danger area, because defensively we don't really have a big stopper in the Marvin Andrews mould. We would perhaps attack the ball, and Stevie Milne was first to react for St Johnstone but couldn't steer his header on target. St Johnstone, you can almost see them growing in stature the longer the game goes on, but had it been a boxing match on occasions, that towel may well have been thrown in. Now Hutton takes the pass from Gavin Ray, Novo on the flank, whips it in. It's a good ball, Boyd with the header, can't get it on target, scooped near Mensing, it's coming down with snow on it. Hardy heads clear. Scotland, who's starting to see more of the ball, surrounded by 3 blue jerseys. Break it up again as Scotland tries to get free for Saints. Switch of play, Smith for Novo. Hutton goes in the overlap on the blindside run. Novo keeps possession, gets it on target, right into the bread basket though of Bryn Halliwell. Good stuff from Novo. The run from Hutton created the space for Novo to cut back in with a left foot shot. Decent strike though, and Halliwell well positioned at his near post. Quite happy to pouch that one. Rangers get the free kick. Fans quite quiet at the moment, thinking a bit of a song. Perhaps wouldn't go wrong to just silence the 1,000 or so St Johnstone fans who've travelled down from the fair city of Perth. You perhaps in good voice at the moment, quite happy with the effort of their team so far tonight. And when you consider already through to the semi-finals of this tournament are Falkirk and Kilmarnock, it's one that they would love to progress in as Shabo whips it in looking for Boyd. Cleared by Laurie, and the job completed by Goran Stanic. Sheeran has to forage for it, can't get the break of the ball. Buffel tries to open up his body, get away from Stanic. He does well, he's inside the box. Here's the cut back, and again we see Stephen Anderson goal side. He has been man mountain at the heart of St Johnstone's defence tonight, and while I busily talk about Rangers perhaps needing a dominating centre half, Stephen Anderson might be worth making a wee note of that name. Hutton the long throw comes to nothing. Milne comes short. Lawson had it all to do, and Sasa Papic across to quickly slide in to clear the ball for Rangers. So far in this tournament, remember, Rangers throw off the challenge of Dunfermline in the last round. Well, St Johnstone, well, East Fife, Elgin and Dundee United have all fallen for St Johnstone to reach the 4th round of this tournament. And Scotland clearly offside. Taking quickly McGregor, flick on header from Boyd. Pace of the game just dropping at the moment, as is the temperature in and around Ibrox Stadium tonight. Let's hope the pies at half time are kind of warm. Owen Coyle again, urging his troops, thinking about the half time whistle, some 5 minutes away. Almost a job half done for Owen Coyle. And remember, we go all the way to a finish tonight. That could indeed involve extra time and penalty kicks if necessary. I tell you a lie, they're not known as penalty kicks. The true title is kicks from the mark. Mensing plays it long, headed clear by Himdani. Clement does well, combines with Ray. Ball goes astray again though. Lawson wants the pass. Papic just plays it off the on loan Celt. Precision goes Rangers' way. Yes, a penalty kick could be awarded in normal time for an infringement inside the 18-yard box. However, in the event that you have to determine a winner in a match, they become known as kicks from the mark. Okay, I'm boring you to death, but hey. Still 0-0, that's where the problem lies. So McGregor will look to just plant this into St Johnstone territory. Nova not the tallest, either Stanic, but it's the Macedonian who comes off best. Clement takes the pass from Himdani. The Frenchman combining for Rangers as the close neighbour Belgian Buffel can only work it back to Alan McGregor. Route 1 from Rangers. Anderson wins the header. Supports from Hardy. It's a decent ball too. Turns Rangers defensively. Milne has to chase it. Papic has to look lively. And he does. Kept in play by Stevie Smith. Ray just operating in front of the centre backs. Takes the pass and works it back to McGregor. Just puts the laces through that one. Anderson wins the header again. Getting a bit scrappy at the moment. Both teams perhaps just thinking about that half-time cup of tea. McGregor over the top. Shabo's appeared from nowhere. Oh, wonderful defending. This time it's the former Hearts man McManus who does well inside his own 18-yard box. First touch is good and the clearance, Week is quite happy to have knocked it long and take the pressure off his defence with half-time approaching. Rangers perhaps just lacking that spark of invention tonight. But I did mention some of the players who are missing, and clearly when you've got some quality like Purcell and Burke not available for selection, it's a test of character for those that get the shout. But Ray shows real desire, playing the captain's part, gets it almost into the feet there of Chris Burke, but no surprise, it's that man Anderson again, cuts off the delivery. There's no flag this time from Scotland for the ball over the top. He is pretty jet propelled, keeps it in play, needs support in the box, cuts inside. Papic tries to slide the challenge and does well. Just gets the size 8 on it. Smith to Boyd. Shabo. Anderson again. Picked up Smith. How Rangers could do with a goal prior to half time. There's a breakdown of communication there between Shabo and Ray. Lawson again to Scotland. We saw his qualities. You leave him alone at your peril. Mensing keeps it in play and does well to just rob it off the toe of Stevie Smith. Now Hardy and Sheeran combine. Stanic in the overlap in space. Whips it in right footed. Well defended by Brahim Hamdani on the edge of the 18-yard box. Drives forward 40 yards into Shabo. Continues his run, wants the return pass. Sliding challenge, Anderson. Breaks for Boyd to Novo on the flank. Again, it's a bit pedestrian from Rangers. The final ball just needs to be that bit quicker. Smith to Clement. Again, though, St Johnstone defending very, very stubbornly. Surely a climb there. Laurie all over Thomas Buffel, like the proverbial rash. Stuart Dougal very quickly spotted, giving Rangers a free kick. We've got 60 seconds remaining of regulation time. As fourth official John Underhill tells us we'll have 1 extra minute. Smith whips in the delivery. Mensing scoops it clear. So, we have 52 seconds of regulation time remaining, and the bubble capped fourth official John Underhill tells us there'll be a minimum additional 60 seconds. At Ibrox tonight, it's still goalless between Rangers and St Johnstone. The teams battling for a place in the semi-finals of the CIS Insurance Cup. McGregor kicks it long, 2v2, Buffel. Tries to get away from the clutches of Mensing. A late sliding challenge on Laurie. Does enough to sort of force the error. Papic delivers it back in for Rangers. Boyd heads it in the air. The goalkeeper wasn't coming for that one. But McMahon is quite happy just to head it out the danger area as Rangers try and squeeze the game. Mensing kicks for touch as Owen Coyle comes up. Want to slow this game down. Has a word with the fourth official, suggesting what's it all about. Not happy with perhaps some of the decisions. Now 45 minutes have come and gone, as has our additional 60 seconds. I don't think we'll get much more action this first half. Indeed, the 3 blasts on referee Stuart Dougal's whistle brings the first 45 minutes to a conclusion. Well, Rangers had to survive an early scare when Sasa Papic went down injured with only 60 seconds on the clock. Thereafter, Rangers set up base camp in St Johnstone territory. Shabo blasted over in 4 minutes. Thomas Buffel hit the side netting in 12. Alan McGregor was called into action in 14 minutes to save from Jason Scotland, and Nacho Novo came close on 2 occasions prior to that half-time whistle. However, after 45 minutes at Ibrox, it's honours even. It's Rangers 0, St Johnstone 0.
There's a Dutch football classic in prospect this Sunday as league leaders Ajax take on second place PSV Eindhoven live on Setanta Sports. It's a crunch match for both teams, with Ajax bidding for an 8th successive league win to stay at the top of the table, while last season's champions PSV are in second place and will be formidable opponents, having gone 9 matches without defeat. That's top football action. Ajax v PSV Eindhoven this Sunday on Setanta Sports.
When I was 14, all I could think about was getting girls to notice me. Now, they all do.
Up to 300 people are killed every year in accidents where the driver has fallen asleep at the wheel. Before you feel too tired, pull off the road into a services or other safe area. Drink some strong coffee and take a quick nap while the caffeine kicks in.
If you're having a nap, you've left your lights on, sir.
All right, cheers.
Think. Don't drive tired.
Shopping on the internet's just like normal shopping. It can save you time and money too. But make sure you get a real address, not just a web address. A real phone number, not just a mobile. And print a record of what you've ordered. If you don't know who's for real on the net, you might end up with virtually nothing.
If you're driving in icy conditions, think.
second half. The match, of course, played to a finish tonight. 30 minutes additional time if required, and kicks from the mark to allow someone to book their place in the CIS Cup semi-finals. On the bench tonight for Rangers, I mentioned Lee Martin. He's joined by Carl Svensson, Dado Persaud, Charlie Adam, celebrating a call-up to the Scotland B squad today. Well done, Charlie. And Stefan Kloss. Good to have the German keeper back, as Milne does well, works it to Scotland. Shut down quickly by the combination of Clement and Smith. Support comes from Laurie, headed clear Himdani, only as far as Mensing. Tries to skip into the box. Good defending Rangers though. Papic ushers the defenders out the danger area, and Stevie Smith kicks it long. Flick on header from Chris Boyd, can't find Shabo. And the very effective Anderson does well. On the bench for the visitors tonight, Peter McDonald, a youngster who started his career here at Rangers. And Scotland just as a tug at Philip Shabo, giving the free kick to Rangers. And alongside him in the technical area for Owen Coyle's side tonight is the vastly experienced Darren Sheridan, Andy Jackson, Willie Dyer, and the sub-keeper is Kevin Cuthbert. Alan Hutton plays it long for Novo, cleared Stanic, picked up Gavin Ray. Rangers just a bit frustrated at the moment. Alan McGregor kicks it long, looking for Buffel. He's a bit of a push on Laurie, spotted by assistant referee Francis Andrews. The Rangers just have the substitutes warming up just now, going through their paces. Firepower from Persaud if called upon, pace of Martin, and Charlie Adams, a player right now who is scoring goals for fun. So I'm quite sure we may see some changes by Paul Le Guen should it continue stalemate around about the hour mark. St Johnstone, with only one defeat in their last 8 matches, are a side in form at the moment, top of the First Division, and their stadia, of course, fully compliant for SPL, and they certainly have ambitions to get back with the big boys as soon as possible. Smith wins a header. Clement and Buffel combine. Boyd tries to keep the move going, does successfully to Buffel. Shabo's in behind the defender. Oh no, he's not. The long leg of Anderson, very timely. Clement tries to get between two defenders. St Johnstone have been very well organised tonight. Very stubborn opponents indeed. They've defended well. The goalkeeper not had many genuine saves to make, as I intimated, largely down to the fact that when they are not in possession, they all work hard for each other. They've defended very deeply on occasion, but equally effectively. So again, we see Alan McGregor try to conjure up a long ball that might get the flick on from Boyd. Laurie intercepts again for Saints. And Danny with a header, picked up Lawson, combines with Mensing, gets it back again, whips it into the back post. Sheeran's made a good run. The ball just pitches off the cold surface here at Ibrox tonight. Does well to keep it in play, plays it off Hutton. As the throw in. Fair to say St Johnstone slowing the game down. Goran Stanic, twice capped for Macedonia, just tells his teammate just to leave it there. He'll come forward and wind up the long one. Whips in for Hardy, takes a good touch, can't keep it in play though. Alan Hutton just stays goal side. Hardy inside the 6-yard box. Can't create the opening. Anderson does enough. Falls for Shabo though. Policed by Stanic. Support from Sheeran. Stanic and Sheeran combine. Well, Clement picks it up again for Rangers. The switch is on surely. Indeed. Well, neither Papic nor Smith Intercepted Mensing over the top. There's no offside flag. Jason Scotland is 1-on-1 with Alan McGregor. Takes a good strike. Excellent save from Alan McGregor. 5 minutes into the second period, Alan McGregor keeps Rangers' cup hopes alive. Out quickly, makes himself a huge target as Jason Scotland pulls the trigger. He's so disappointed. Look at the reaction of the Trinidad and Tobago striker at that post. He can't believe that Alan McGregor has made the save. Very quick to narrow the angle, stayed tall for one moment at the expense of the corner kick, ensures that that ball doesn't go behind him and giving St Johnstone a very unlikely lead. Jason Scotland still very disappointed he didn't get his 11th goal of the season. It's a bit of an injury here at the same time though. St Johnstone physio being introduced as Stuart Dougal just has a bit of a chat there. It looks as if it's the injury to Chris Young, the assistant referee. Perhaps the cold night after the warmth of the half-time cup of tea and dressing room. That's all we need, perhaps, is the game to be stopped if they have to call for an assistant. Should the assistant referee not be able to continue, possibly a bit of a hamstring. Indeed, fourth official John Underhill is just getting the tracksuit off. I think the next time the ball's dead we may see a change. Green light to continue. Sheeran with the delivery. The header still in the mix and there's overhead kick. Rangers are a goal behind. Stephen Milne opens the scoring for St Johnstone in the 7th minute of the second half. Rangers again susceptible to the deep delivery at the cross ball, not defended at all by Rangers. When the second ball comes in, Stephen Milne, the former Dundee and Plymouth Argyle striker, well positioned, aware that he just wants to take it early, on the scissors kick, whips it goalwards. Rangers find themselves a goal behind. It's the 11th goal of the season. The goal scorer is certainly Stephen Milne. His 11th goal of the season. It was just headed back into the mix, and at the back post, Stephen Milne well positioned to knock the ball home. Well, that's not in the game plan at all at the moment. We were all busily looking at the far side assistant, who seems okay to continue after a bit of treatment, as Milne again links up with Jason Scotland. The Rangers get the decision this time. The warning signs came when Jason Scotland got long, went 1-on-1 with Alan McGregor. McGregor made the save, but from the corner. Rangers don't defend, and Milne opens the scoring. Now Stevie Smith goes long. Mensing, the challenge in the back, perhaps the first yellow card of the evening, as Rangers are about to go for the double change. Lee Martin and Dado Prachot get the call. My goodness, with a goal down, the responsibility to keep Rangers' CIS Cup hopes alive. Dado Prachot, Lee Martin coming on to replace Philip Shabo, who after a lively start has disappointed, to be honest. Prachot goes straight up top, and it's the end of the match also for Thomas Buffel. Lee Martin, he's been out injured since the match against Aberdeen on the 1st of October, is the straight replacement. So Rangers 2 substitutes committed and a goal down. It's all gone a bit wrong for Rangers since half-time. Smith with the free kick, headed clear by Laurie, nodded back in him Danny. Goal scorer Milne happy to kick it long to clear. First touch for Lee Martin, so lively. Excellent challenge though from Mensing. We've been very competitive in that midfield area tonight. Rangers have the throw. Martin again starting to see a lot of the ball since his introduction only 60 seconds ago. Purcell can't carve out the opening. Papic does well to try and keep the pressure on for Rangers. Rangers looking rather nervy now. "50 minutes on the clock." McGregor makes a save. 60 seconds later, he has to pick the ball out from behind him. As the frailties again come to the fore, switching off at the corner kick. However, Rangers in a chance now. Purcell whips it into the box. It might fall for Novo. Stanic does well to head clear. Novo elects to leave this one to Alan Hutton. Novo shows for it. Again, the tails are up for St Johnstone. Invention from Novo. He's in the box. It's away from Stanic. There's a flick into the danger area. Purcell can't work it behind the goalkeeper. Collectively, St Johnstone defend desperately at that near post. Rangers force the first corner of the second period. Lee Martin comes across to take it. Good flat delivery. There's the header, and it's not far away. Alan Hutton met it well. He's yet to open his account for the season. Martin's delivery, Alan Hutton with a header. Decent power on the effort, but just marginally wide of the goal frame. It's fair to say we have a cup tie in our hands now. The second period, 11 minutes old. Rangers trailing St Johnstone by that Stevie Milne strike. Jason Scotland full of confidence now. Born in the port of Spain there, but the free kick goes away at Rangers. Hutton to Novo, continues his run. He's got it all to do. Just plays it long. Handball Stanic. That's a yellow card. Deliberate handball from Goran Stanic becomes tonight's first yellow ticket for Stuart Dougal. And Rangers have the free kick. So Stanic will just have to be a bit cautious. Perhaps if Rangers can deploy Lee Martin down this right flank, put some pressure on the full-back. However, Martin with the free kick. 57 minutes played, Rangers 0, St Johnstone 1. Bit positioning going on inside that penalty box. Martin knocks it in, it's a good inviting ball, the flick-on header from Chris Boyd, just pulled wide of the target. Papic was also in there looking for it, but Boyd was first to react, gets the header on it, but just can't steer it on target. Again, we see Owen Coyle coming out that technical area. He'll just be reminding his guys the job isn't done yet. Good news though, the far side assistant Chris Young looks fit to continue, and fourth official John Underhill can probably get his tracksuit back on again. The St Johnstone fans celebrating now, just behind Stevie Smith as he retrieves the ball down in that corner. McGregor kicks it long. Hardy wins the header. Sheeran just knocks it back in towards the edge of Rangers' box. Hutton has to defend, combining with Himdani. Does well to keep it in play. Stanic scoops it out of play. So Rangers with two substitutes already committed. The other options are Charlie Adam and Karl Svensson. And of course their changed goalkeeper tonight is Stefan Kloss. After two reserve games back, good to have the German involved. Purcell, so alert, takes the throw in from Hutton, knocks it into the edge of the 6-yard box. Laurie clears for St Johnstone. Novo does well to play in Hutton. Good delivery. Boyd can't get there. Clement can't work it out from under his feet. Takes a bit of a shoulder charge from Martin Hardy. Gives Rangers a free kick. It's fully 35 yards from goal. Perhaps on an evening you would welcome the Charlie Adam or the Barry Ferguson technique. It's going to be Lee Martin. It's fully 35 yards from goal. It's going to be right-footed. Lee Martin whips it up. It's on the target and it's not far away. Well, very inventive delivery from the on-loan Man United youngster. A good strike on it. It was flat. It almost deceived the goalkeeper. It was curling late as well. And it just goes beyond that left-hand post with Halliwell stretching no more than 6 or 8 inches. As Halliwell incurs the wrath of the Rangers support by switching ends to take the free kick, or the goal kick rather. St Johnstone fans enjoying their visit to Glasgow tonight. You consider the start of this tournament, St Johnstone took extra time to knock out Elgin. They did so after 90 minutes that ended goalless with a 4-0 win. Scotland drives into the box. Smith does well and does enough, combining there with Papic to stop the striker in his tracks. Picked up McGregor and kicked long again. Rangers a bit one-dimensional at the moment. Martin quick to squeeze the ball and press St Johnstone defensively. Hutton very determined, as was Sheeran. Hutton does well, not once but twice. Now Purcell drops off and picks it up. Tries to find Boyd. There's a shooting chance here for Boyd. Elects to cut it back for Novo. He gets back to goal, works it back to Purcell, and he lifts it over the crossbar. He was leaning back all the way, as I think we're about to see a change. Not from the players, but fourth official, John Underhill, is coming across, and he will take the flag from the distressed far side assistant. Chris Young looks as if he's pulled a hamstring. There's a quick word with referee Dougal as he leaves the field. He'll probably take over the responsibilities of the fourth official, I suggest, and just police that technical area. And it could get rather tousy down there with Rangers chasing the game, having gone a goal down in 51 minutes. Get some ice from the St Johnstone physio. So we have a change in tonight's officials as Novo does well. To Martin. Smith, real desire and determination, makes the overlapping run. Needs a good delivery. Whips it in near post. Cleared by McManus, just at that front post, supporting all the time. Well positioned, the former Hearts man. Man of many clubs, actually. It's Papic at the other end, from one number 5 to the other. Rangers again try and build it from the back. Inviting ball from Hutton, headed on from Purcell. Shanked clear by Laurie in support from Mensing. Milnes in space. Papic defends. Well, this tournament certainly could have almost anyone's name on it at this stage of proceedings. Overlapping run from Hardy, takes the pass from Jason Scotland. Milnes at the back post, it's whipped across goal. A good strong wrist, and the hand from Alan McGregor cuts out the delivery that's intended for Milne. And Rangers breathe a sigh of relief as Novo comes clear. Drives at St Johnstone's defence. He's got Martin in the left flank. Martin's pretty lonely. Cuts inside. Policed by Laurie. Tries to escape the former Falkirk man. Needs a cut back. McManus again protecting his goalkeeper. At the edge of the 6-yard box. Hooks it clear. But we see the qualities of Novo. Very quick to get the ball back into St Johnstone territory. Martin again with the delivery. Interception from Mensing at the expense of a corner kick. 64 minutes on the clock. Rangers chasing the game. Going down by the goal after 51 minutes to Stephen Milne. Martin again. Smith combined. Take the ball short. Squared for Papic. Might open up his body and think of the shot. Drills it left footy through traffic. There's a bit of a ricochet there and it just scoops over the crossbar. The last touch coming off Stevie Milne, the man whose goal separates the sides at the moment. No real pace on the effort from Sasa Papic. He was more intent in hitting the target. It just takes a big deflection and over the crossbar as Rangers have the corner again. Whipped in Martin. Headed clear again by Hardy. Papic this time sights her well out. Decides to take it early, but my goodness, couldn't get anything over the ball at all. And Bryn Halliwell will not be in a hurry to get this ball retrieved and back into play. 25 minutes remaining at Ibrox. Rangers 0, St Johnstone 1. And when you consider Falkirk eliminated Celtic from this tournament last night at the quarter-final stage, Kilmarnock progressed at the expense of Motherwell. The Edinburgh Derby is going on as we speak, and Rangers desperate to bring some silverware to Ibrox in Paul Le Guen's first season. Have it all to do at the moment. And Stuart Dewell gives the free kick to the visitors for the challenge by Gavin Ray that Paul Lawson will take. Only started 3 times in the first division this season since joining Saints on loan from Celtic. Whips it goalward. There's the climb, it's into the mix again. Hardy so adept in the air and picked out with a delightful ball from Lawson. Papic can't get anything on it. Hardy just knocks it in, and Alan McGregor, who again has shown real quality for Rangers tonight, makes a fine save as Boyd flick on header to Martin. Tries to find Smith. Smith gets there, does well to keep possession. Purso now does well to deliver. Chance for Boyd, can't get anything on it, and again the excellent Anderson protects his goalkeeper with the defending header. Papic shows desire to keep the pressure on for Rangers. To Lee Martin again now, the second half sub. Clips it in a daisy cutter. McManus can't get the touch. Purso can't get a touch either. Oh, and it won't open up for Clement either. As Millen comes from nowhere, puts pressure on Hamdani. He's in the box, 1-1 with McGregor. It's the second goal. Disaster for Rangers. Absolute disaster. Delight for Milne. Rangers, well, they've been a bit like a bull at the gate at one end, and they've left that back door totally opened. Hamdani switches off. Milne, electrifying pace. Hamdani less than decisive. Milne gets him to the loose ball and just drills it beyond the diving McGregor. This is absolutely disaster for Rangers, and Charlie Adam is going to be introduced as Rangers' last roll of the dice tonight. They now need to score 3 goals if they've to progress. But what a wonderful result so far, with 22 minutes remaining of the match. We're halfway through the second period here at Ibrox, and it's all gone wrong for Rangers. Purcell to Novo, shooting chance, not a bad strike on it as well, into the deck, bit of spin on it. Halliwell sees it big and makes a good save. Kicks it long again. Milne gets the touch, chases it down. Smith intercepts. To Martin, policed by Mensing. Mensing does enough. Now Jason Scotland gets between 2 defenders, Papic and Hamdani. Holds it up, looks for the runner. Milne provides it. Scotland stays on his feet, cuts inside, works it back to Hardy, and he just leaning back, scoops the ball over the crossbar. Owen Coyle now very animated in the technical area. St Johnstone 2 goals up in this cup tie as Rangers, well, they send for Charlie Adam. End of the match for Gavin Ray. He hands the captain's armband to Nacho Novo. Novo passes it on to Dada Purcell, who will take the responsibility. 69 minutes on the clock. Rangers introduce their 3rd substitute of the night, Charlie Adam, replacing Gavin Ray, and again no offside flag. Stevie Milne's on the hat-trick. He's 1-1 with McGregor. McGregor does well. Second chance for it. Oh, Milne gets the header. He can't direct it on target. Again, Rangers defence absolutely shredded by a simple through ball. They just don't deal with it at all, and Stephen Milne thought he was going home with a match ball. Well, Alan McGregor makes such a crucial save from a standing start. He makes the jump and fingertips it enough away from the target, and in the follow-up, Milne almost snatches that third goal. In with the delivery, flick on from Hardy at the back post again. There's the header, and just wide of the target. My goodness, Paul Le Guen must be watching this defensively, thinking, what can he do to sort it out? The Rangers fans tonight absolutely stunned into silence. 2 second half goals from Stephen Milne. As the heavens open here, the rain comes down at Ibrox. Rangers fans absolutely desolate by the result. They just can't believe what they're witnessing at the moment. We've mentioned the missing players, but defensively, Rangers have looked absolutely devoid of responsibilities. No one commanding the back four, and you consider it's the same back four for 2 matches in succession. Stevie Milne, the 2 goals tonight, the difference between the sides, and another Stevie picks up the second yellow card of the night. Perhaps a bit of dissent from Stevie Smith, through frustration no doubt. Yellow carded by referee Dougal, joining Stanic in his little black book. So both left backs booked tonight for their efforts. Stanic with the delivery. Boyd can't get in on. There's a chance for Novo, but Stanic just taking the pace out the ball, and Halliwell quick to gather. Well, I mentioned missing players, certainly no Chris Burke and no Barry Ferguson. And Lionel Letizia, who was to be first choice goalkeeper, also not involved. Julian Rodriguez not selected either. So transition period for Rangers, and it's a real test of character if they can come back in this cup tie with 18 minutes remaining. But at the moment it's clearly St Johnstone who have their tails up, and Scotland leading Rangers back for a merry dance on occasion and creating all the openings for his strike partner Milne. Papic just clears from Scotland. Scotland was suspended from the league match against Partick Thistle on Saturday, but he certainly looked as if he's enjoyed the rest as he just muscles out 4 Rangers challenges, gets it to Mensing, flick on delivery, a chance again for Milne, headed in the air by Alan Hutton, and Stevie Milne has his head in his hands there. He's desperate for the hat-trick, and he really has caused Rangers all sorts of problems tonight. The visiting fans delighted by the efforts of the man they call Steve-O. In comes the corner from Sheeran. McGregor can't get anything on it. Hardy arrives very late. It falls for Lawson, whips it goalwards. Charlie Adam clears inside the 18-yard box, and Mensing lifts it off the toe of Nacho Novo. I mentioned St Johnstone's side. They had 2 changes in the side tonight from the team who beat Partick Thistle at the weekend. 2 changes which were almost forced upon the manager, as Novo's got a shooting chance. He can't quite get it in target. It's not far away, bouncing ball. Bit of a buzz bomb of an effort from the layoff. Novo just can't quite get it on target, as again the Rangers fans unhappy with Bryn Halliwell's less than rapid response to getting the ball spotted and back in play. Lawson hooks it long. Himdani this time comes off best in the challenge with Milne. As Rangers break now. Purcell to Novo. 1-on-1 with Stanic. Loses his footing at a crucial moment. It's back with Hutton. Just wants to deliver it early. Elects to keep it short to Purcell. Spins away from Anderson. Anderson late with the challenge. Just catches the trailing leg of Dado Purcell. Referee Dougal, again, you have to say, has been excellent tonight. Well positioned to make the big decisions. and calls it in favour of Rangers. Anderson not happy. The youngster's been outstanding tonight. And Stuart Dougal gives Rangers the free kick. Now, could it be Charlie Adam time? He certainly knows how to hit them from here. Bryn Halliwell organises his wall. It's 23, 24 yards. Charlie Adam, left foot drive. Won't even break for Stevie Smith. The wall does its job. Rangers need a goal to set up a rousing finish. But 2 down, 2 second half goals. Smith with the long throw. Again, won't break for Rangers. Laurie tries to escape the clutches of Martin. Goes down rather theatrically, I have to say. He'll not be in a hurry either. Vastly experienced player. Galashiels born, 10 years with Falkirk. Bit of a surprise casualty of the Falkirk regime at the end of last season. Gets to his feet. Just leaves it to the goalkeeper. Slowing the game down. And the goalkeeper just kicks for touch. Well, the last time these sides met here at Ibrox was December 2003. And Rangers ran out 3-0 winners. Scorers, Chris Burke, Egil Ostenstad and Michael Moulds. Again, we see Anderson very quick under pressure from Martin to head it back to Bryn Halliwell. And indeed, the last time St Johnstone won here at Ibrox, you have to go back to season 70-71. As Milne's free again in the box, he lifts it over McGregor, no pace on it. And McGregor just casually takes a step back and clutches the ball almost under the crossbar. But again, you have to ask questions. How did Milne get between 2 defenders to put pressure on the goalkeeper? Rangers go to the other end through Novo. Gets the break of the ball off Sheeran. Still policed by Stanic. Holds it off, finds Charlie Adam. Whips it into the mix, flick on from Boyd, and it's not far away. It's not been Chris Boyd's night. Decent delivery, Charlie Adam, but Chris Boyd with 6 goals for the season. Perhaps that tells you something. Before the game tonight, Chris Boyd was 6. So it's been a bit of a devil match for him. 6 starts, 6 sub-appearances, and 6 goals. Rangers need some form of inspiration, as the clock is also now the enemy. "25 years since St Johnstone won here at Ibrox, the old First Division. Sheeran wins it from Novo. Hutton with the challenge. 12 minutes remaining. Rangers under pressure. And at the moment, heading out of the CIS Cup tie as the substitute assistant, John Underhill, clearly gets the flag in the air to halt the progress of Stephen Milne on this occasion. Hutton with a free kick. Headed clear by Laurie. Smith feeds it to Lee Martin. Shows great invention and footwork. Needs a decent delivery. Oh my goodness. That was a rather casual defending header, but effective nonetheless. Lee Martin showed a clean pair of heels to the defender, Mensing. Just knocked it in, and Laurie heads behind. Martin with the corner. Aerial ball. Falls for Hardy. Falls for Stevie Smith, and again, desperation coming to the fore. More desperation than inspiration, but however, Stevie Smith, he's not in the side for his goal-scoring exploits. And that effort goes high over the crossbar. There is, of course, a CIS Insurance Cup man of the match. Scotland comes away, squares it to Paul Sheeran. Gets his shot on target. Diving save, Alan McGregor. Well, defence of the Rangers tonight. Just not been at the races on occasions as Paul Le Guen comes out the technical area. Shows a bit of passion. Flick on header from Purcell. Boyd can't get between two defenders and Halliwell comes out to smother the ball. There's going to be a number of candidates for the Man of the Match award tonight with 10 minutes remaining. Unless Rangers can find some kind of hero, I suggest the award is likely to go to the St Johnstone number 9, Stevie Milne, with 2 second half goals. He may well have booked St Johnstone's place in the CIS Cup semi-finals. However, at the other end for Owen Coyle's side, the young centre-back wearing 6 tonight, Stephen Anderson, has also been absolutely excellent and led by example. He's attacked the ball. He's done all the simple things that you want of a defender that Rangers have just failed to do at the other end of the field as St Johnstone keep the pressure on. Here's the delivery again. There's a header chance for Sheeran. He did enough though, Alan Hutton. Alan Hutton stayed goal side. Was quick to just get inside of Sheeran as he arrived for that late delivery, and his header just wide of the target. Jason Scotland's down injured. And again, not in a hurry as Papic encourages him to get to his feet. Referee Stuart Dougal clearly indicates he's stopped the clock. We've got 9 minutes plus stoppages at Ibrox as goal scorer Milne just takes on some refreshment. Owen Coyle encourages his players to go through the breathing exercises. And a 2-goal cushion at the moment. It's hard to imagine Rangers finding some form of ability to come back from this 2-goal deficit right now. Jason Scotland just goes off to warm applause from the visiting fans. St Johnstone down to 10 men. McGregor kicks it long. Laurie and Mensing between them, work it clear. Rangers just a bit dizzy at the moment trying to find this opening. Smith to Novo, the layoff for Boyd. Boyd's gone too early. Sheeran and just rolls it back into the path of McManus, who just kicks through the ball as Rangers pick it up again just inside their own half and try and find some form of opening. 8 minutes plus stoppages. Now Charlie Adam, the third Rangers substitute, tries to get away from Milne, does well, skips away as well from Hardy. He's in the box, there's a late challenge, he's in the box, chance for Novo, and again Anderson with such a timely challenge. Stevie Milne had a couple of nibbles at Charlie Adam as he slalomed his way into the 18-yard box, but Adam so determined to get a shot on target, stayed on his feet, couldn't get the break of the ball, but Rangers do force the corner kick as St Johnstone are about to make a change. Former Rangers youngster Peter McDonald comes off the bench. Jason Scotland, who picked up that injury, his match is over. Straight replacement, former Rangers youngster McDonald. In comes the corner, headed clear by Stanic. And Danny picks it up for Rangers, but only as far as Stanic again. Smith has to work the ball back to Alan McGregor. So Rangers need a big finish. Purcell plucks it out the air, Laurie clears. Papic for Rangers now holds off the challenge of McDonald. Smith and Martins looked a decent partnership in that left hand side going forward tonight. Mensing just muscles young Martin out it though. Milne holds it up, plays it long for the pace of McDonald, and again Danny fails to deal with that. McDonald cuts across and might fancy the shot himself but can't squeeze it on target. Tries to curl one against his former teammate Alan McGregor and just manages to squeeze it beyond the target. Charlie Adam kicks it long, looking for Purcell, backing into Andy Laurie. Free kick goes the way of St Johnstone, and following up, Lee Martin drills the ball into the unguarded net. However, it certainly won't count. Stuart Dougal just checks out the condition of the aforementioned lorry, and he certainly looks okay to continue. Jason Scotland just comes down to the technical area to take his place on the bench, gets the warm applause from both Jim Weir, the assistant manager, and Owen Coyle for a job well done. It's back in Rangers territory. Papic has to deal with it, does so ahead of McDonald, and Smith completes the clearance. 85 minutes on the clock. Not good news for Rangers. Sheeran now to the double goal scorer, Milne. Chris Boyd, there's a bit of a calling card in the back of Stanich here. Giving Rangers a throw in. Adam takes it, wants it forward early. Martin's come late. Cuts it back for Purcell. There's a chance for Rangers here. Squares it there for Chris Boyd. Rangers have got to go back. The referee checks with his assistant. The ball from here looked over the line. Not so, says the referee. It won't count. Chris Boyd thought he had scored. Dado Purcell still venting his anger with Lee Martin, with the assistant Francis Andrews, who I have to say was well positioned down at the corner flag. He had a very clear view and the angle of the ball. It looked to have spun behind the goalkeeper and into the net. Not to be. And the protests of Dado Purcell earn him the third yellow card of the night. And another from Nacho Novo, dismissed by Stuart Dougal. A double booking for Rangers to add, you have to say, insult to injury. Boyd thought he'd scored. The referee immediately looked to the right hand side for Francis Andrews. It took the deflection. Halliwell was stranded. Rangers thinking they've got to go back and we could perhaps have had an Alamo finish, but the ball was scooped off the goal line, and Mr. Andrews may just need some form of police protection, I suspect, on the way home. Still Rangers nil, St Johnstone 2, 3 minutes plus stoppages. However, you have to say the damage has been done elsewhere. It's not about a goal being chopped off with only 3 minutes remaining, although it could be if Rangers can score now. Martin releases Adam. Adam holds off Mensing. Purcell's ball for Nova's too heavy. Nacho Novo's pace takes him beyond the advertising hoardings, throws it quickly to Halliwell to try and get the ball back into play. It looks as if it's St Johnstone's names going into the semi-final draw. Adam with a header, and Anderson, who for me has been absolutely magnificent at the heart of St Johnstone's defence. Milne will get the credit, Milne will get the plaudits for his 2 goals this afternoon, or this evening rather. But when under pressure, Stephen Anderson has been a rock at the heart of the Saints' defence, as Purcell through desperation tries one from fully 40 yards and it just whistles beyond the target. Good clean strike. Again, the goalkeeper's not forced into making the save. It's not between the sticks, it's just wide of them. St Johnstone going to go with the second change. They call on the veteran Darren Sheridan, 38 years of age, comes off the bench for the 6th time this season, and he replaces the on loan Celtic youngster Paul Lawson.
St Johnstone replacing number 7 Paul Lawson, number 14 Darren Sheridan.
I suggest it's another tactic by Owen Coyle just to run down the clock. On the verge of their first victory at Ibrox in 25 years. Two second half goals from Stephen Milne ends Rangers' interest in the CIS Cup at the quarter-final stage. And the warning signs have been there as Milne tries to break free from Hundani, holds it up down the corner flag. Remember, of course, they also saw off Premier opposition in Dundee United, which certainly wouldn't have done anything to further Craig Brewster's career while in charge at Tannadice. And tonight, St Johnstone under Owen Coyle take their second SPL scalp in the CIS Cup. Ball's back with McGregor. 90 minutes have come and gone. The fourth official, who started the match as an old-fashioned linesman, is waiting for the signal from Stuart Dougal as to how long we will have by way of additional time. Earlier this week, Paul Le Guen came out to say he has the appetite for the job and that Rangers are not far away. It's back to the drawing board in the morning again, unfortunately. And the Rangers subway loyal, the numbers are clearly swollen tonight. Falkirk and Kilmarnock already in the hat. Hearts and Hibs will join them, and it looks as if St Johnstone will make up the quartet for the semi-finals, which are scheduled to be played in January, while Rangers, next match they have to entertain Dunfermline here at Ibrox on Saturday, and it looks like Dunfermline will have a new man at the helm as well. Stephen Kenny, the Derry City manager, likely to be named the new boss of Dunfermline prior to Saturday's league fixture. Delivery from Stevie Smith, flick on header from Boyd. Sheridan just uses all his experience to keep the ball for Saints. And Mensing takes a good touch and just knocks it back and out of play. And again, Owen Coyle, he's loving this, isn't he? Makes his third change of the night. Young Andy Jackson comes on. Again, just to waste some time. No shot there. He goes for the furthest away player. And that furthest away player is Stevie Milne, the man whose goals in 51 minutes and 67 minutes have ensured the Perth Saints progress at the expense of Paul Le Guen's Rangers. So Milne off. He should get a big hug from Owen Coyle. Pat in the back, of course he does. And young Andy Jackson, one Irish under-18 cap, comes on as his replacement. We're deep in injury time just now, and there's every chance by the time the final whistle actually blows there might just be more St Johnstone fans in the stadium than Rangers. Jackson does get a touch, tries to keep possession in the corner flag. Rangers work it free. Charlie Adam again just tries to play it early. And Halliwell just a bit of showboating. That's not clever, young man. Made the save. You've had a decent job. Well done tonight. As the final whistle blows, the noise in the background clearly tells you Rangers fans consider tonight's performance less than acceptable. Rangers CIS Cup hopes are ended by First Division St Johnstone at this quarter-final stage. After 45 minutes, the teams went in goalless, Rangers having the best of the early chances. Into the second half, and with hopes high, it was expected that Rangers would turn over this First Division side. Wasn't to be. Defensive lapses cost Rangers dearly. 51 minutes, Stevie Milne on hand to open the scoring, and 16 minutes later Milne lost the attentions of Brahim Hamdani and drilled the ball behind the diving Alan McGregor. clearly not Rangers night, but take nothing away from a valiant performance from Owen Coyle St Johnstone, and they are now in the CIS Cup semi-finals. The home fans have left the stadium. The visiting fans celebrate the final score at Ibrox. Rangers 0, St Johnstone 2.
Good evening and welcome along to Ibrox Uncovered. You join me, Ali Douglas, and our guest Andy Watson to look ahead to a very important weekend for Rangers Football Club. Good evening to you, Andy.
Hi, Ali.
Nice to see you. Earlier this afternoon, David Murray addressed the awaiting press and media in a united front with Paul Le Guen. The chairman feels that off the back of a string of poor results, the time was right to speak out about media speculation on the stability at Glasgow Rangers.
It's only about 10, 11 weeks ago we introduced Paul, and we endeavoured to let him get off to a start on his own, and there's been quite a lot of media inquiry for me to make a statement, and that's what I've done this morning with the daily press and the Sunday press. There's no change in our relationship whatsoever. There is no doubt that domestically our performances are poor, very disappointing. European-wise, we're very satisfied. I think that as a club, structurally, where we are today is a massive, massive rebuilding job. 4 or 5 years ago, we were criticised for lack of youth policy, no training facilities, too much debt, and a variety of things. I believe that we've got the foundations and the template of the club in a very good shape. Domestically, our results are unacceptable, and speaking to everybody this week, I believe that we're able to turn the corner and improve. It's never been a question of money. Paul has had a little money left, and there is money available to spend in January if he requires that, and I'm sure he can answer that question himself. But we don't have and are not prepared to spend the amount of money that we did in the past, and that's a fact of life, whatever football club in Scotland.
Paul's CV obviously is terrific. I mean, everyone praised you in the summer when you appointed him. I presume you're mystified as to why all the promise will not come to fruition.
Well, as I said earlier today to the press, 18 out of 24 journalists tipped Rangers to win the league, and it was widely acknowledged what a great signing Paul Le Guen as the manager. I have no reason to change my mind whatsoever. I won't change my mind, and we stick together at Rangers. Now, we have some voices of discontent around the outside. That only makes me more determined. It makes Paul more determined. I've personally this week spoken to the Supporters Trust, the Supporters Assembly. I've spoken to the whole board. I've spoken to the players, and I've reiterated to every single one of them of my commitment in everything we do, and I'm sure we will get it right.
Bad result domestically, and I know that the expectation is far higher, and I fully understand that. I expect more from the player, a better team bonding. It's clear. We have a lot of new players, young new players, and they must be aware that it is a great responsibility to wear this jersey, and that the expectation is so high, and they must give the good response.